The Canon EOS M is a very interesting little camera, originally released in 2011. It features a Digic 5 CMOS sensor that's also found in the Canon EOS 650D. It's made in Japan, supports RAW photography, and incredible video. It must be said that when it was originally released, this camera was often seen as a sideshow of sort, as at the time mirrorless cameras weren't such a commonplace item in everyday photographers' bag. Another factor that this camera has going for it is the rather large sized APS-C sensor. Large size, when I say large, within the context of a mirrorless camera, that's the size of your palm. This is a major selling factor, not just back in the past, but also going forwards for the cinematography type. The colors are, and I can't emphasize this enough, I love the colors that I can get out of this camera. The design of this camera is beautiful to say the least. It's tiny, it's compact, it's made of metal. It has a reasonable heft to it. It's chunky enough that you know it's a quality thing, but it's not too chunky to the point where you feel like, it's too heavy to put it in my pocket, that sort of thing. No, it's not. It's comfortable enough that you can practically take it anywhere. It's made in Japan. The chassis is magnesium. The lens mount this camera uses, being a Canon Eos M system, also allows it to use adapted lenses from many different brands, from many different vintages, from expensive things to very cheap things. It's a very versatile lens mount. Now, the battery you get with this camera, as I mentioned during the introduction, is rather anemic, to say the least. However, the way it's designed, especially the battery door, the little latch that keeps the battery in place, has a little rubber flap that you can switch to the side and then stick an aftermarket DC adapter so that you can plug it into the wall practically and then run this little camera indefinitely in Magic Lantern. So that little battery is a blessing and a curse. And once you dial in the lighting and make sure that the camera is exposed correctly, I mean, the world's your oyster. You don't really need a cinema camera. I mean, you got one in your pocket. That's what makes this camera so special. It's tiny, it's cheap, or at least it was cheap. I just checked the prices yesterday and it's like $500 now, but I only paid $110 for it back in the day, like 3 years ago. So this camera is a very interesting little thing. So if you watched this far into the video, I'm sure you're waiting to hear my final thoughts about what I actually think of it. Well, in short, I'll have to say, go out and buy one as soon as you can, as long as it's correctly priced. Now, the right price for this little camera is, in my humble opinion, up to $250. Anything more than that, I'd hesitate to recommend it, not because there are better options out there, because there aren't any cameras, as far as I know, that are this small, that are this affordable, that can adapt this many lenses, and also happens to be able to shoot 14-bit RAW with a bit of fiddling around. I mean, that's a fairy tale, like that doesn't exist. So with all that in mind, I definitely do recommend it. Go out and buy one that's, reasonably priced. And yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say. It's a great value for your money, and it performs as long as you put in the time. It takes a little bit of fiddling around. If you take the time to learn about Magic Lantern, you're off to the races. That's pretty much all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.